but I don't have to actually move my whole arm around, right? I can just change my leaning stance while I throw. So I can even come out here and I can turn in and just shoot, right? We'll talk about the mechanics of that. There's also like lifting and rising, right? So if I want, if we were like sorting board, for example, if I wanted them to come up with me, right, then I can start in a lowered stance, and then as I come up, I'm physically coming up, I also raise my sword and my shield all together. So when I come to somebody, I kind of slide in, I move up. That does a couple things. One is it plants their feet so they can't really move. They're coming onto their back foot. I'm on my front foot, so I'm ready to move and they're ready to just stay still, right? I've also got them kind of like locked down in this position. So a lot of times what I want to show, if I slide in from here, and I can easily step or come around. So in this case, the feint is not necessarily to open the strike. My step's going to do that. It's just to stop them from thinking, stop them from doing anything. They see this quick movement, and immediately they kind of respond to it and move out of the way or move back, move where I want them to go. It's a lot of positioning. So there's also like core concepts to why all this stuff works. So I can throw it here, and then the third one, he's ready to just block that third shot already. Just by our own human intuition and our problem-solving skills, humans are really good at solving these things quickly, and you can use that. Some of the things that make us really great fighters, you use exactly against the person. And also, when you're doing that, there's also, besides the lifting and rising and shrinking, I can shrink away. I can do things to manipulate him to come to me, so I can take a step back and make him want to come to me, and I can watch those feet, right? And so when he does, if I shrink away and he steps toward me, as he's stepping toward me, then I can choose to move forward because he's coming down on his foot. He doesn't have a lot of position to move to. I've caught him in the middle of the step as I'm rushing him, so his first inclination is just to set. And again, now we have the feet on the ground, and we can have all kinds of lateral movement around him, and he's just going to have to hope that you don't get to him, right? Yeah. So another concept is on the timing. This is the really important one, okay? So a lot of times when we fight, right, we'll throw some shot up here, then we'll throw it down here, and maybe we think our combination is I'm going to kind of attack you here and then go down to here. Like that's not really a feint or a fake, that's just like a two-weapon combination. Right? And if I think of I'm going to go down and go across, down low, and then I'm going to come across high, right? To say, I'm going to start here, go low, and then I'm going to try to go opposite direction. That's just a three-shot combo. And if you think of the three shots in time, they're in like a sequence, okay? It's shot number 1, shot number 2, shot number 3. But in the Feints and Fakes game, if you really want to be good at it, it has to be more like this. This first thing has to be establishing some threat, but you don't follow through with the entire shot. And so they go to defend it, right? It's kind of like playing cards. So if I throw up, you can throw up, and then throw again here. I don't throw the whole shot, right? I just start 95% because I'm doing everything with the rest of my body, right? I'm not just this, right? I'm bouncing, I'm giving you these head fakes, I'm showing you this is what I look like when I do this. And then I do this, and so I throw, and then as you're coming up is when I'm making my movement down. And that's what I mean by the ships passing in the night. It has to be at that time where they're just behind you. They're just behind you in where they're coming. And like single blue, this will be a drill we do, but I can show it for the concept. So for the timing, right, the real shot, right, and this will be something that we talk about in a second, but the real shot has to aim at something. It has to be a legitimate shot that they care about. You can't just kind of like wiggle this and then hope they get to move their sword there, right? So if I want a real shot, my real shot could be a stab at the arm, or it could be me coming out to hit the arm, right? And maybe I show those when we first start fighting. I come out here and take it, so now you're like, all right, I gotta guard that because he can get to it. So one thing I do is I'll come in, right, and I'll let him push me out, and then I'll come over and take that, right? And I'm showing him a lot of things. I'm moving my body, right? Because when people, like if I were to run this direction or move this direction to try to come up, I have to. My body has to move that way, right? Physically, no one does this, right? No one, unless we're like, doing some kind of dance, no one naturally moves like that. So you can tap into that muscle memory by showing him this business, right? Where now again, all you have to do is come in, right? So you show them something, the whole thing, and then you rotate that over. And then we'll talk a little bit more about that position. We'll do that drill for people that want to. So we'll talk about the 3 steps. That's the third. Captures their attention. it brings them into that muscle state. The show, which is where I show him a threat, right? There's a threat that he has to handle or take, consideration for. And then the take, right? I take what I want, right? So in the case of the one we just showed, the flash is the quick movement. The show is I'm coming for this, threat, and then the take is just to come in and take that, right? That's in that combination. That's how I describe those 3 steps. In this other one that I like to do, right? So there's a combination of movement as well as sword movement. So I start by I'm sliding while I do it, but I come across my body, then I come back up, and what happens generally is people will see this. They'll think that's what I need to block. I'll start to come here. They'll think, oh crap, it was a fake. Now I got to come up here and block this, and they come up a little faster. And so now I know they're coming up this way, and then as they do that, I'm coming down, right? So more in speed, right? If we're going, right? You see this movement. I kind of step this direction, right? And then by the time it's there, they think it's up here. So a lot of times they start to block here, crap, and then I'm all open over here, right? And that's the whole thing is the flash strips them away of their whole ability to react and think about what I want to do. What kind of block do I want to throw? What kind of move should I make? It puts them in the, all right, what can I do when I can't? How good is my subconscious reaction to these kinds of things? And then if you can use those physical cues, right? Those jab steps, those head leans, the body tilts and stuff, it's going to trick their muscle memory, their very good developed muscle memory, that I'm going this way, or he's about to come here, right? And that's the whole idea behind a lot of what I try to set up with people. Like maybe I think, well, if I come here, then I can wrap him, right? This all depends on my movement. It all depends on my speed. I'm changing my position to open up an angle on him, right? So I'm trying to hope that my movement over here is going to be enough. But if you employ like the Feints and Fakes idea, what I really want to do is use my movement to change his position. I'm changing my position, but it's purposeful so that he bites on something like that, right? So if I take it here and I show this, well, I've created this whole opening here. And since I know I'm doing this, since I know I'm coming to this right side, I know where he's not going to be if I'm doing it correctly. So then if I come in here, right, I can show that wide wrap. And if I do it on him once, the first time that he gets chunked by it, right, first time I hit him with it, he's not going to like it. So the next time I come in on him, he's really, he's going to try to block that. He's going to have to come down, or he's going to have to shift over, both of which move his sword away from the center of his body. Right? So in that case, that movement is meant to open up. And again, from here, if I sell it by moving quickly, by leaning, right? By showing, all that stuff makes him move over. And then again, I don't have to bring my sword over. All I have to do is just lean over, and I have that whole other side, right? So it ends up being really quick, efficient movements, but you're using the movement to set up the opening, rather than creating the opening through your movement. If that makes sense. And that the longer you fight, the better the faking idea is going to be helpful to your game, because we're only going to be that fast and that quick and all that kind of stuff for so long. Eventually you want to fight smarter, not faster.